Hi, everyone. I'm Cindy Love, the Executive Director of Out for Undergrad. My pronouns are she, her, and they.
My name is Andy Huang. I am the Treasurer and on the Board of Directors for Out for Undergrad. My pronouns are he, him, his.
This webinar today is designed for the members of our community, our students, our sponsors, our volunteers, mentors, the foundations who give us money, organizations who partner with us, to understand how O4U raises and invest its money in support of our mission, what we need to be sustainable long-term, and how we plan to grow. We want to be fully transparent with all of our stakeholders, and that is why we belong to Candid, the largest and oldest organization in the world that ranks not-for-profit organizations according to their accounting and finance and general governance protocols. For the past 4 years, O4U has earned Candid's highest ranking, the Platinum Seal of Transparency.
The majority of funds that we raise comes from the selling of sponsorships to corporate recruiting departments, employee resource groups, business resource groups, diversity, equity, inclusion initiatives, and universities. We have over 200 sponsors in our O4U ecosystem. We also have host sponsors who allow us to hold our conferences in their facilities and sometimes underwrite expenses such as catering, AV security, and other fees. This is hugely beneficial to O4U as underwriting offsets expenses we would otherwise normally incur. O4U needs about $2.6 million per year to support approximately 1,000 students to attend our conferences, to learn about various industries, network with our corporate sponsors, and each other. We also provide programming and activities throughout the year for our volunteers, alumni, and community, such as our learning community, our extended mentoring program, our job board, and our breakthrough speaker series. To ensure against market economic downturns like we've had in the past, we need to create a healthy reserve, 1 full year of operating support, diversify our revenue streams, and continue to operate at a platinum standard.
In 2024, we launched the O4U Momentum campaign. As part of our desire to increase our reach to more students, we hope to reach 5,000 additional students over the next 5 years in addition to our conferences. And we want to jumpstart new research and growth opportunities where we can raise revenues that are not recruitment dependent. We receive about 5% of our funding from foundation grants and employee volunteer matching funds. We anticipate growing this support to about 20% over 5 years. In 2024, we also launched the O4U Consultancy to support our corporate partners with advancing inclusion efforts in their organizations. We anticipate that about 5 to 20% of our funding could come from this organizational development work within 5 years. And we're set to increase individual and major gifts.
Ideally, we will replace about 50% of our revenue source from recruiting with other sources by 2030. We're seeing a shift in the industry and the markets, and we are looking to diversify our revenue sources and really be able to support our students and our O4U community.
Generating new sources of revenue also takes a lot of work and focus on fundamentals and telling our story very effectively. And these are places where we can use your help. Organizations that don't manage fundamentals are rarely successful in raising money and growth. So what are the fundamentals? Focus on mission. I would give us a check mark on that one at O4U. Everybody is in it for the students and does a great job. Cash flow management. We actually do very well in that area as well. Low debt to equity. Also a check mark. We have almost no debt. Budgetary controls. That's the hardest one for us, because we always want to admit more students and we always want to have more programming. So managing that is the thing that our teams and all of us who work to support them have to watch so carefully. We have annually externally audited financial statements. We have quarterly profit and loss reviews. We have regularly evaluated standard operating procedures called SOPs. We are in full compliance with all of the legal and regulatory guidance that's required. I think we get a huge check mark on compelling programs. We have high stakeholder satisfaction and healthy, sustainable growth. I'll put a caveat on sustainable. That's where getting that year of operating reserve held back is so important in case of economic downturn and increasing our new revenue opportunities while decreasing our dependency on pure recruiting revenues.
We received high marks on these fundamentals. The hardest parts for O4U are and will continue to be new revenue generation during a big shift in the recruiting industry and current market uncertainty with hiring. This is happening at the same time we want to serve our more students and offer more programs to support them. Since 2019, our costs for travel, lodging, and food for students, volunteers, and staff have increased more than 35%. We can't really save our way to prosperity. We have only 2 full-time employees and no physical offices. We already spend the majority of every dollar we raise on our students, volunteers, and alumni support. You can read about all of these expenses and revenues on our candid report.
So how can you help? Volunteer. That we need more than anything. 100 volunteers do virtually everything we do to bring our conferences and all our programs to students. You can volunteer at a conference as a mentor, as a presenter, as a content developer. Ask your company to sponsor O4U if they're not already. If you work for an employer with a meeting space that could seat 500 to 600 people, help us connect with the head of recruiting, DEI, or corporate social responsibility to ask for consideration hosting our conferences or events on their site. If your company has an employer volunteer matching program, when you volunteer with us, please check in and see if you're eligible to enroll your hours so they get matched with a donation from your employer. If your company has a foundation, contact the director and ask them to consider an invitation to O4U to apply. Most foundations today require that you have an invitation. You can't just submit a grant independently.
Raise funds to support student attendance. It costs about $2,500 per student per conference. Ask 9 friends to join you in raising $250 each. We will supply materials for you to share. Donate to O4U. Every dollar helps. We have 4,300 active alumni. Imagine the impact if each one gave $10 per month for the next 5 years. About $2.6 million, an entire year of O4U operating costs, the reserves we need.
Tell the O4U story. Share your Instas, Reels, all of our stuff. We need your help. We're hugely grateful for you and for our volunteers like Andy, who serve as our treasurer in addition to their already very busy lives and huge jobs. If you have any questions, please connect with either of us at any time. Thank you very much.